สวัส
We
ดี
hope
ค่ะ
we
อาจารย์
we hope the trip to Nepal went well and you had fruitful discussions there.
Yeah.
And I was just mentioning that we had some of the Vietnamese came to visit us here last weekend, so that was good as well, very useful too. Okay, I think we can get started. Sally, do you have anything you would like to start with? Anything from the discussions 2 weeks ago you've been pondering over, or any questions?
Yeah, thank you, Ajahn. Indeed, Sarah, I actually don't have any question for now, but I think it's a bit of reflection in my mind. I think it's the more I listen and hear the Dhamma discussion, the more appreciate I have on the power of the focus on the the being at the present moment. It is very powerful. I think it's this is the a very important Dharma which is happening to every one of us in daily life. Even those last week there has been a lot of the discussion that read and Ajahn exchange the conversation. I think it's very useful, and also even when Jeff raised up the question on how to find way to help someone who is being troubled by the spirit, then Ajahn, John, and yourself have advised and brought out nothing far from the focus and understand the Dharma at the present moment, which is very powerful. Hearing is just hearing, seeing is just seeing. No one can control or force this Dharma to happen. It's not belong to anyone. It happened with the appropriate condition and falls away with the appropriate condition. I think it's like the case of people who are being troubled by the spirit. If one can understand and firm confidence of this Dharma, I think they would less clinging to they themselves are the one who see the image or hearing the sound. When I do the reflection, I really confident and appreciate the power of being present and understand the characteristic of this Dharma. And I believe that if those people have a firm understanding of this, they would be less fear and agitate in their mind. So this is what I really appreciate, and I just want to share my confidence, which is getting firmer and firmer each time I listen to this kind of conversation, Sarah and Jonathan and Ajahn. Thank you so much. Yeah,
that's really a very excellent summary of the discussions from 2 weeks ago and the main points. And like you say, appreciating the focus on the present moment and understanding what life is now is really the essence of the Buddha's teachings. And many people say, oh, it's all about the present moment or live in the present moment, but they have no idea what the present moment is. They just think in conventional way about, oh, being mindful whilst cooking or walking or something like this, but no understanding about seeing now or hearing now, as you said. And I thought your summary about helping those who are troubled by spirits and so on was very good. We think the problem is the spirits. We think the problem is the boss at work. We think the problem are the family members or this situation or that situation. But the problems all come back to the ignorance and clinging now, to not understanding life as it is now. And like you said, the more understanding of what is real, what appears now, such as the seeing or the hearing, this is a condition for being less troubled, having less fear, less besotted by spirits and this and that situation or person. So I think you've really appreciated the main points. And the main point is that there are just these different dharmas arising and falling away. None of them belong to me or to anyone else. And in truth, no one here, no one there. So the less clinging to I, the less clinging to others and to spirits and so on that we take for being the reality now. So thank you very much, Sali. I think it's very useful. Perhaps Ajahn would like to add a little more to your comments as well.
Never, excuse me, never enough understanding what is there until it shows up now as it is. That's why it's quite a reminder that whatever is now appearing is not as it is. Because what appears now appears as something and someone all the time. But in truth, just a moment of a reality conditioned to arise, to see, or to hear. Just one moment, one reality at a time. Is that true? Can it be realized? Because the understanding developed on and on to understand one reality as it is at a time, not all together at once, because they are different. That's why learn to understand the truth, which does not show up as it is yet. It appears as something, the world of something on someone all the time, the world of Atta. But in truth, what is there can be broken up into very small particle. Can it be something like a table or a chair or even a glass, a fork, a spoon? That's why learning to understand the very deep truth of what is there, which hasn't been thought about or seen or heard or experienced, not at all. That's why it takes patience so very firmly to understand it. What is there? It appears as something, but in truth, it is there by condition, only in very short moment and then gone. Is that true? And this is the only way the understanding of the truth only can let go the idea of something, someone, or I now see, because seeing is seeing. It cannot be anything or anyone at all. Hearing now arises gone. How can it appear again? Impossible. Is this true? Just learn to have confidence of the truth. Gradually, little by little, firmer and firmer, until it's the moment of just be aware with understanding of what is there now, not its story, but its nature, that which experiences the object doesn't have any shape, no form, no sound at all. Imagine the reality which does not appear as shape and form and smell or sound at all, but it's that just experience, arising to experience and then gone, never to return. Is that true? Just have confidence of the truth and the understanding building up little by little, firmer and firmer, until its condition of understanding That which is now, no expected about what is there now. Pop up. Whether it's clear or not clear yet, but is it true? The popping up does not appear, but the previous one gone, condition the next moment to arise, on and on and on and on, until die, death, moment of not being this personality or this person at all. Is that true? From moment to moment, no one, but without understanding of the truth, is something in someone. Until right understanding begin to consider the truth of that which appears so very gradual by its own way, not by anyone can urge or can hurry up to understanding it. And this is life. Now, this moment. So life is not permanent because each moment is not permanent. Anatta. No one here and now. See, just a moment of what is experienced and then gone. Without deeper understanding of the truth, it's impossible to let go what is there as it has been accumulated from life to life, to take what appears by shape and form to be something and someone, the world of Atta. Before what appears as people and things are not there at all. Only that very, very clear characteristic of this moment appear to be known. So now what appears is just as clear as it is. As it is moment of arising and falling away. Not permanent, anicca, dukkha, and anatta. So we can talk about anything to have a little more understanding, to have firm confidence of the truth that it's not there anymore, no matter what appears. See, not there anymore.
I think it was with you, Sally, a couple of weeks ago, we were talking about how we study Dhamma more and more to understand more and more how much ignorance there is. In the beginning, it seems, okay, it's quite clear, I've got the main points, but the deeper the study, the more ignorance is revealed, and the firmer the understanding becomes of what is conventionally real and what is ultimately real, that which cannot be changed at all. But without understanding more and more about just how much ignorance there is, then the truth is never revealed. So it's like just the tip of the iceberg that begins to be revealed, but the understanding has to penetrate deeper and deeper, because as Ajahn said, the world of Atta is there all the time, always something, always a situation. One of the questions that some of the Vietnamese group asked us last week was about how life changes when there's understanding. They said, oh, we have studied for so long, so how is our life different from those that haven't studied? And we said, well, it's just the same. There's still clinging, there's still ignorance, there's still outwardly the same appearance. We cannot tell from the outer appearance whether there is understanding or how much understanding. Someone may sit very quietly in the temple and look so serene. One cannot tell from the outer appearance about the understanding. So life goes on just the same, seeing, hearing, thinking, likes, dislike, but the understanding begins to work its way little by little. But it's a slow process, no expectation of how quickly the understanding will develop at all. Does anyone else have any topics they would like to bring up today? Zita or Alan or anyone?
Hi, Sarah. I saw this question. What is truth according to Buddhism? So I suppose if I was answering that, it would be that what life is now, very precisely. So when taste is tasted, it's true at that moment. When sound is heard, it's true at that moment. But of course, we don't know precisely what reality is there now. But the truth is that when it appears, when it's there, it's true. And when it's not there, it's gone. It's not true anymore. So how would you answer that question? What is true according to Buddhism?
Well, first of all, I would say that what is true, no matter according to anything. Seeing now is seeing, it sees, it can be tested, it can be proved that there is seeing at this moment. No one, no eye to be found that sees. So the Buddha taught the truth about what can be understood now, not just according to Buddhism, but according to how life really is at this moment. So we don't have to call it Buddhism, we don't have to call it anything. It's just learning more about what life really is now, what can be proved, what can be found. It reminds me another question that some of the Vietnamese asked last time is because we've come from different backgrounds. We've come from Christian, scientific, studied many other topics, psychology and so on. But the truth about life now can be tested and proved. What is heard now is just sound now. It can be proved. The person, the voice, without thinking, where is the person? Where is the voice? It's just sound that is heard at this moment. And as Sally was stressing, life is just in a moment now, at a moment of hearing. Only sound is heard, no other world, nothing else that appears. So the truth is the truth, no matter one has ever heard the Buddha's teachings or not, no matter whether a Buddha ever taught it or not. What is true is true. So this is why we have to consider and learn about different realities to test whether it is true at this moment. Because if one had never heard that it's only sound heard, it's so obvious now, but without considering it, it's never known, and that it's only hearing that hears. Before hearing the Buddha's teachings, we'd have no idea. But when there is the right considering, the understanding, it has to be that way. It cannot be any other way.
Thank you, Sarah.
And perhaps Ajahn would like to add more, or Jonathan, or anyone else.
What is true? Is this moment true?
Yes.
See, so if there's no understanding of this moment, there will never be the understanding of any other moment at all, because it's exactly the same. That's why even understanding of what is there now what is true now. It's not just this moment is true, but what is there? I, for sure. Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
But the truth is not, what is I? Can it be found? Where's I? Because now there is seeing, no I. And what is seeing? Otherwise, there will never be the understanding of the truth of any moment at all if there's no understanding of the truth of this moment. So, this moment, what is there? To learn to understand each moment later, when there's the understanding of this moment right now. See, there is seeing. Seeing is true. What is it? What is seeing? No understanding of that which now sees. But what is it? It's real. It's true. It's there. No idea about it. But what we say, or what we use the term seeing, it cannot hear, it cannot think. It's a moment of seeing only. And seeing can see only that which is seen now only. No idea about that. But seeing just arises to see what is seen, only that which is seeing. At the moment, thinking about it, about what is seen, is not seeing at all. And thinking cannot be seeing at all. Each moment is different by conditions, unknown yet what condition, whatever is now appearing. For example, with our conditions, can seeing arise and see? Can there be seeing? Hardness, can it be conditioned for seeing? Sound, can it be conditioned for seeing? That's why learn to understand the truth of what is there, hidden because no thought about it at all. But now it's time to consider, to begin the nature of seeing can be known because it's there now sees. So the nature of seeing is the reality which can see only now. So it says that is seeing, no one there at all. Only that which now sees. So it's real, it's a reality because it's real and it just arises to see. If it does not arise, there will not be seeing and the object which is seen at all. It's not the world of sight, the world of what it's taken for from seeing moment. So it's true when we talk about it, we are talking about the ultimate truth of each moment. The moment of seeing is conditioned by the eye and the reality which impinge on it. So it conditions seeing just to experience that which is seen, only that which is seen. And what is meant by only that which is seen, it cannot be a window or a chair or anything at all. It's only that which can be seen only. Even the idea or the understanding of it is only that, only that, only that which can be seen. The truth, the ultimate truth, in a moment of seeing. So life is moment of experiencing an object, whether the object is known or unknown. But the reality, which has the quality of experiencing an object, whenever it arises, it experiences something, or we can say an object, only one object. And then gone. Can what is seen be changed? See, learning to be truthful to the truth, the ultimate truth. Can sound be seen? Can hardness be seen? Can smell be seen? So what is seen is a reality, but it cannot see. It's only that which can be seen. Among all other realities, no matter in what world, it's only that which can be seen, a reality. And what word we use for it? Which word object or color, no matter what. It cannot be anything because it is only that which is seen in one moment of seeing only. And why the understanding of this? Because it's there. Otherwise, how can there be understanding of other things while it's there, which can be known only one reality, that which is seen now. That's why I learn to understand each moment so very rapidly, just appear and disappear in truth, but it's not realized yet until right understanding is firm enough to understand it. How can there be moment of beginning to learn about, to have understanding of the truth of that which is seen now, that it cannot be leaves of rose or window or anything at all. It's only that which can impinge on the eye base only. And as soon as seeing arisen, it's there to be seen, then gone, both seeing and that which is seen. Is that true? This life just in a moment without these realities at all. There's no life, there's no world, there's nothing. Is that true? And this is the ultimate truth. It can be realized, but without ignorance. Now, no understanding of seeing and that which is seen is real. It's a reality which is different from seeing, different from that which is seen. It's a reality which experience an object, the same object as seeing, but no understanding of the truth, that what is there seen and is gone instantly, so very rapidly. Each moment is not understood, as it's just there, so very short and then gone. Is this true? Only begin to understand what is there as a word or what is there taken for I of someone or something. In truth, gone. Everything which arises, gone instantly. That's why there is this moment, evening moment, morning moment, again and again and again. When they arise at different moments, that's the idea of what time is it, and so on. Just thought about what is taken for something, not that which just arises and falls away in split seconds, never to return, never arise again. The momentarily death, kanika marana, until it's sammati marana, until it's samudjeta marana, final death of arahata only. Just learn to understand the truth, that's all. And right understanding works its way. No one can perform the function of right understanding because at moment of understanding, it let go. Ignorance. So very short, very little, very gradual, unknown. Like holding the knife's handle when we gone away until it's there appearing a little and then later on a little until all are worn away by its own condition. Right understanding is conditioned to let go. Ignorance and attachment and wrong understanding thinking about that which is not there, taking that which is not there as it's still there right now. What is true? Just learn to understand the truth. And only the understanding the truth, right understanding, samadhi, can condition moment of letting go, ignorance, wrong understanding, taking that which is not there as is there. But in truth, it's not there. Each moment gone. What appears in a moment, gone. Even the experience is gone. It's the word of anicca, not permanent at all. Understanding cannot enjoy the impermanence of what is there at all. Because it's not there to be conditioned for joy at all. But the understanding condition and joy can arise with understanding. How can it be known? Even so subtle, but the truth can be known by the words, the right words for it. It's reality. So now, who knows? It's rare, it's a moment of a reality, experiences one object at a time. But the repetition of the falling away, arising and falling away, condition the marks, the shape and form to be taken for something permanent because not realizing the moment of its arising and falling away. But the truth can be known, can be realized little by little. But Buddha said only by way of nimitta, even that moment, because of rapidity of the arising and falling away. No one can imagine. It's there right that now, unknown, until right understanding develops little by little to get closer and closer, to have only one object to be studied, to begin to be moment of understanding the truth of that which is conditioned to arise through one of the six doorways, no matter in what world. Even right now, one doorway at a time. And if there's no word of truth at all, how can it be known right now? The truth, what it's there, true. It's gone, no matter what. But what is what to be known? Otherwise, it's taken for something, the word of atta, from life to life.
And I'd like to add a short comment to Alan's question too. Alan, your question again was, what is true in the Dhamma, is that right?
What is true according to Buddhism, yeah.
What is true according to Buddhism?
Yeah.
So what is true, one way of answering that, in addition to Ajahn's helpful comments, is to say that in the Dhamma, what is true is what is real.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Because that is what can be known and understood.
Yes.
But true has different meanings in different contexts. So in the way the question is asked, it sounds like they are asking what is real in Buddhism.
It's quite an open question. I think that it's can be answered in different ways. But yes, I think you're kind of answering it as what I originally answered. It's what is real and what is real is now. It's not what is real in the book,
Right.
but it's what now is.
What now appears and can be
What
known.
now appears, yeah. That would seem to be pinpointing how Buddhism works, or what is true according to Buddhism, because the whole purpose of the teachings is to get to know what is there in a moment, a reality, one reality in a
The
moment.
question is possibly being asked from the perspective of someone who is used to thinking of things to be believed or accepted.
Yes, I don't know. I just saw the question probably from somebody who has no understanding about Buddhism, but I thought it was quite an interesting question. That's why I've put it here. It's already given some insightful discussion, so it's a good question to consider, because we do hear Ajahn saying, "Be truthful to the truth," and that is a matter of being straight to what this moment is. By being honest with what this moment is, it is some kind of reality, whereas the I is not being truthful to what life is in a moment, because life is a reality, either the reality which can experience or the reality which cannot experience, but no self to be found anywhere. So by understanding more about the moment, this moment, the understanding will grow that in actual fact there's no person or thing anywhere. There's just different dharmas. Yeah, so that's what it would seem to come to. I think that conventionally a lot of people would go to the truth that the Buddha was born in a certain place, and that's true, and or whatever, he was married to Yasodhara or whatever, that conventional truth. But the ultimate truth, it comes down to the ultimate truth of what now actually is. And that's the highest
Right.
truth, because it can be known what now
And
is.
that's what Ajahn has been talking about.
Yes, yeah.
Yes, in answer to your question. Yeah.
Yes, she's explained it beautifully. Yeah, what now is. It was interesting. I saw you gave some a word definition of Dharma, and then I heard that Ajahn was talking about it's what this moment is, Dharma, a reality. So you have these two aspects. You have the intellectual understanding, and you have the knowledge by direct experience. But of course, you need both, because we don't know what the reality is now. Without the intellectual understanding, you cannot know precisely what this moment is, because without listening to the Buddha, there is the idea of you see something. It's only through Buddhism or through the understanding of Dharma that idea that what is seen is different from the thinking, the story of it as something or somebody. So there are these two aspects to understanding what the moment is. There's what the actual moment is, and the intellectual understanding of what it is. And you cannot do without the intellectual understanding. That has to be there.
And that has to have been heard from
Yes.
another
Yeah.
in the first instance.
Yeah. But it represents, those words represent what this moment actually is. So it's the true words about a description about what life is now, which is the authority, I guess, in Buddhism, because we think, who should you listen to, the monk, the lay person, the religious guru, but actually the authority is just the words which represent the truth of this moment. That is the ultimate authority, no matter it is said by a John or Jonathan or Siri or Alexa. It's just those words which is the authority, because it represents the truth of what this moment is.
Just a quick few words there, Alan. Appreciate the question. when you say the words represent the truth, that can be slightly misleading, because I think we can say the words point to the truth. And to say, as I said, the risk of sounding pedantic, the words represent the truth, that can be somewhat misleading, if you take my point.
They point to the truth. Yeah, yes, I see what you mean. Yeah. I suppose if you say that what is heard is sound, does that not, can we say, represent the truth of that moment? Because a bird or a person isn't heard. That's several moments when we know that it's a person, but what is heard is sound. So those words, can we not say they represent the truth of what is heard?
Yeah, I take your point. It's going to depend, of course, on the person hearing that. I was reminded, when you asked the question, I'll send it later on, I was reminded about Bahia when you're talking about the truth. But it's going to depend on the person who hears it and their accumulated wisdom or not, how they, I believe I understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
And I think it's a fair point. I'm just thinking that people who haven't heard the Dhamma and considered it carefully, and still carefully, they can be misled by that, potentially. That's all I'm really trying to say, but I take your point.
Yes, I suppose it could sound like just a dogmatic statement that Buddhism is true because it represents the truth of what is there now. It's not, unless you go into it. It's not easy to understand that those words are talking about the reality of now. So I think that's quite difficult to grasp, that the difference between sound, which is heard, and then we sort of talk about sound and intellectualize about sound, but actually to begin to understand that there is actually a reality there. And those words represent that reality. That's not straightforward, I don't think, for many people. I even had an argument with a physicist, and I said that sound is real, it can be heard, and he said, no, it's not real. And it's not so straightforward to even understand that these realities are real. They are what now is.
Yeah. I can imagine the difficulty that you might have had with your friend, because it's going to depend a lot. It's going to depend on so many different conditions, and like I heard you talking about a moment ago about the nature of Dhamma and the meaning of the word Dhamma, and I know it's in the Visuddhimagga you have that saying. I only remember it because through the Pali, and it says they cause to bear their own intrinsic nature. In other words, the intrinsic nature is the higher reality. So Dhamma's cause to bear their own intrinsic. Even when you think about it, it doesn't have to be clear, but what is being spoken about there is the intrinsic nature of Dhamma. They cause to bear their own intrinsic nature. So they condition each other by nature of their own nature, true nature. And that's not an easy thing to grasp, I don't think, intellectually, unless it's really considered carefully. And even then, we can still be caught up at the intellectual level. And like, I really appreciated what Tanajan was saying a moment ago about the true nature, as opposed to what seems to appear, leaves or trees, or some of the concepts that Tanajan was alluding to. I think they always need to be considered very, very carefully, again and again and again, because the habit of atta, of self, always is lurking and is always trying to squeeze itself into the equation. And that's where the continual trap is, where continually cast into this idea of something or somebody. And it's not, and again, what do is just pointing to the subtlety of things, the very, very subtle nature of Dhamma beyond what is, I was going to say beyond what is seen, but it's not quite true. Yeah, the subtle nature of Dhamma as it truly appears. Yeah, I'll leave it at that for the moment.
Thank you.
John, please, will you elaborate on the comments about the reality at the present moment, and not so for myself, it's about just tuning into the characteristic, or yes, rather than what is it. So would you please kindly elaborate a bit on this?
Without sound, can there be any understanding of what is there? Without sound, nobody can change the reality which is seen. On and on and on, until one dot condition the shape and form of something right now taken for instantly, suddenly, as a seeing. That's why learn to understand the truth by words. Without words, how can there be the understanding what one means there to communicate? But even no communication, the idea is there. No word, like the snake and the fish and the frog, they can go to the place where they like. No word. That's why what is meant or taken from seeing and hearing is there. Or any other doorway, smell, whether it is the smell of custard or what. No word, but nobody can change the truth. But without word, the dog, the cat cannot understand the truth. They just bark and very limited sound. But the human being has the understanding taken from what is seen when it's there appearing as something in mind, not in word yet. Now look at what is there. A doll. It's there. No word. That is a doll. But it's taken from the shape to be something. So we use different words to represent different appearing or object which is seen or heard. That's why we learn to understand in one's own language about the truth. Even the sound is different, but the truth cannot be changed at all. That's why learn the language to understand the meaning of that word, what is meant. So there are so many different words represent different realities. So now reality, see what language? The Thai who does not understand it, don't know what is the meaning. But it can be known in one's own language. That's why language is that which communicate the idea or what is there to be known. So when we use the word reality, it means it's real, it's there. No one make it arise at all. It's there before thinking about it, even right now. We can talk, we can move, but there is still that which is seen. Not go away at all, not walk away. It's there unknown, that is there as a reality. So learn to understand what is real, which appears through the 6 doorways, one doorway at a time, to understand the very deep and very subtle truth of each moment. Seeing is that just very shortly and then gone, who knows? But the realization of the truth developed from a little understanding and then on and on, a little more, how long will it take? So we are talking about the impermanence of seeing, but it doesn't mean that we can realize it soon or in this life or any life. It depends on understanding and understand the different levels of understanding samadhi. This is only understanding the word, the meaning about the truth of what is there little by little, but it's still the idea, not the moment of directly experience the truth, which from nothing, and then there's seeing, and then nothing again. And it has to be known one by one characteristic, and not at moment of seeing, but as the moment of seeing through minder. See, so seeing at moment of minder processes so very short for one moment seeing of one process of seeing. See, is that true? It's so true. So the truth is far away from what it appears now. Learn to understand it. It's quite a long time to develop the moment of understanding that hardness now, at moment of touching, no understanding about it, but listen on hardness more and more. At that moment, there must be a reality which experience hardness, but no thought about that reality at all. Is that true? No matter seeing, hearing, is that which experiences that object. Unknown, no thought about it. Just attend to that which appears as the object, that which is realized or experienced, one characteristic at a time, because they are different. They cannot appear together, no matter now or tomorrow or yesterday or how long ago. The truth cannot be changed. But without the words about it to be considered, to begin to understand the truth, that from moment of birth to death, justly without understanding the truth of what is there. If there's no moment of begin to consider, to understand the truth of what is there now, which is seeing and that which is seen, without hearing, considering from the one who has enlightened the truth, no one can have moment of thinking or considering the truth of seeing, which is gone, because the object changes, unknowingly, so very quickly. So begin to be truthful to the truth. Satya Parami, the truth is the truth. Even it does not appear at all to ignorance, but it can be studied, it can be considered whether it's true or not. Seeing does not have any shape or form, no I, no one at all. It's only a moment of a reality arising to see. That's all. That's why it is Satya Dhamma. Dhamma is whatever is real, it's real. Nobody can change its characteristic. So it's Satya Dhamma. And when it's instantly, unknowingly, unexpectedly arising, realizing the truth, it is Ariya Satya, the moment of realizing the truth of what is there now. No understanding even about the word about it. Like that which arises and experiences the object is no moment of hearing the truth. How can it be the moment of consider that which says is not that which is seen at all? But the truths are not known yet. Just begin to consider, to learn about the truth, to be firm confidence of the truth that can be realized, but not yet, because it's just the beginning of understanding the truth, which has been covered up How long? No matter. It's useless to think about the time. So long, that's it. How long? No one knows. But it's so long. To learn about what is there in one life and is now this life. The life which has opportunity, condition to hear about what is there every moment in life. To learn to understand what appears does not appear as it is at all. So it's the world of ignorance. Just take what appears as something to be someone and something so firmly. Even right now, what is there? The face, the mirror, or the television, or the picture, all there as something all the time. So right understanding develops little by little, stage by stage. That's why there are 3 rounds of Arya Satya. The first round is hearing about the truth of what is there every day, every moment, to begin to understand that it's not permanent, it's different reality. It can appear through different ways. Seeing, just see what is seen now, no sound at all. When it's the process or the moment of hearing. And then gone at the end, born and die, birth and death. In this life, but conditions keep on. As soon as the moment of death gone, the moment of life, new life begin again. On and on and on and on and on. Process. It has to be like this, as long as there are ignorance and attachment as conditions. So learn to understand what is taken for I and people and the world and life. Only different realities, conditioned to arise. Dhamma is Dhamma. No one can change it. No one can stop it because actually no one in truth. Is that true? Learn to understand the Arya Satya, the noble truth, the first round, to be firm that there's no one. Nothing can be done. Each moment now is conditioned by so many conditions. Just say, its condition is not enough. But what condition is there to be known? To have less ignorance of condition for whatever now appears. If it does not arise, it cannot appear. So it's life just in a moment.
Yes, that was precisely where I'm with you, Tanajan, is to put it in perspective, not simply the entire lifetime of this aggregate, and then lifetime after lifetime in samsara, because what is past isn't known, what is future isn't known, just only here now. But these words of Dhamma, of truth, can condition the understanding of what is experienced, and that is so very precious. The years that I've been with you, listening and studying and reading and considering, out of all the decades of my life, have been the time of greatest impact, those precious moments of Panya drop by drop. Thank you most kindly, Tanajan.
And that is Parami, Satya Parami, Khanti Parami, Virya Parami, Adidana Parami, Nekama Parami. To condition moment of realizing the truth we have talked about and begin to understand little by little. Until then, it doesn't matter when. And that is letting go, expecting, attaching to the moment to realize the truth. by conditions, no matter how long, thinking about the Buddha to be before enlightenment, conditions not ready yet to realize the truth of seeing right now. But one day, as the Virya Parami, Khanti Parami, and other Parami, unexpectedly the anatterness shows up to be witness of the truth of this moment, but now it's unknown yet. And this is the only way, the fourth noble truth, the Magga, the way to let go ignorance, patience, and virya, to listen again. Even now, the seeing does not appear because that which is seen appear. But one day, when there are enough conditions, right understanding begins again and again and again to be a little higher stage or higher degree. When it's firm about the truth, it's not permanent what is there. It's just only once. What appeared yesterday cannot arise to be appear again. Only once in samsara. Without understanding the truth of what is there, it's the condition to cling to what is there as usual and a little more each moment when there's no understanding of it. So how precious moment, understanding what is there. It does not appear as it is because not enough understanding to let go the world of atta. So it's still the world of people and things. Until right understanding develops unknowingly, unexpectedly, nobody can stop the way it is.
Yes, Tanajan. Something, then nothing, then something, and then a moment. But so rare. Thank you most kindly, Tanajan. Thank you.
How many moments now? See, unknown. But what is there is there when it's there to begin to attend to the characteristic by conditions, by pattaya. And what is pattaya? A reality. See, they arise together. Each one is pattaya for each reality arising together in a moment and then gone, forgotten all the time. Because remembering the sanya just marks the present one, only the present one. Even only the present one, who knows without considering what does it mean? Each moment has sanya arising together. So it marks and remembers only that which is there. Not the past or the future. So right understanding has to be understanding the only present moment, reality, which is not far away at all. So very close. But right understanding is not enough to attain to that which is very close. Whereas the seeing without the eye, it cannot arise. So it arises, experience only that object which impinges on it, and then gone. No understanding until there is moment of hearing, considering, understanding, little by little.
Anajan, the understanding Panya has a penetrative quality of opening up or enlightening that which is, that which is experienced.
So it's not known how much understanding of this very moment until it appears to be direct awareness with understanding of what is there now, which hasn't been aware of at all before. All by conditions. And this is the joy to understand the ultimate truth. Nothing can be done.
Yes, nothing to prepare for, and certainly with thought for the result is anathema to understanding.
Yeah, and that is a little more understanding, a little more firmer and firmer.
Yes, yes, precisely. Nothing to be done. It just happens quite naturally.
Sal, you mentioned last week you had a topic from, I think it was the last Monday discussion you wished to bring up. Would you like to bring it up now or wait until Monday? Sal in Vietnam from Nha Trang. Hi, Sal.
First, today I'm in listening mode. Thank you.
Okay, maybe on Mondays. Okay, see you then.
Yes. See you.
A question, and it's regarding conditions, because we often talk about conditions. It's all up to conditions. The present moment is condition. And I was thinking, how important is it to actually know the actual conditions? I know there's a lot of conditions and they all have their various functions, but how important do you think it is that we should have knowledge of all of the conditions?
For my part, I think that the understanding of conditions develops with the development of understanding. In the beginning, if someone just hears seeing and hearing are the result of karma, and the attachment is the accumulated tendency, and visible object can be conditioned, it has to be conditioned by temperature if it's outside the body. It doesn't mean anything, even if one remembers what is said in the book. But gradually, when understanding develops, it makes more and more sense that the condition for seeing is different from the condition for thinking about what is seen, and different for the condition of what is actually seen, and the conditions for those rupas in the body are different from the condition for those outside the body. So I think it has to be gradual understanding, not by just learning and memorizing the details in the text and knowing about the different conditions in theory, but beginning to understand more about the reality now. Why does anger suddenly arise out of the blue now? Why is it different from the next moment when kindness appears? Can anyone stop the anger? Can anyone make the kindness arise? So I think the important point is the understanding the nature of realities deeper and deeper. And in that way, there is more understanding, more wise considering about the conditioned nature of what is now, the sound now, and what conditions it. The condition for sound when speaking now is different from the condition for the sound that is heard now, for example. So little by little, what we read makes more sense, but it has to be what can be known now, not just the book knowledge. But perhaps Jan may add more.
We learn about condition from the very beginning, but we don't talk about the name and how many functions are there, but learn to understand the meaning and the truth of condition. For example, citta arises not alone because it has conditions arising together. And when it is loba and dosa and moha, we say that it's the hetu condition for unwholesome moments or wholesome moment. And that is one condition which is so very important. Hetu pajya. Without all these six cetasikas, the kusala and the kusala cannot be arise, it cannot perform the deeds, and there's no vipaka, the result, because no deeds, and so on. We learn about conditions, but we don't emphasize what kind of condition. For example, citta has to arise with cetasika by way of saha, chata, pajya. They have to arise together. Whenever there is citta, there must be cetasika arising together. And when cetasika is there, there must be citta and other cetasika arising together by way of sahachata pajaya. See, so when we learn more about what condition what, in the beginning, we don't have any name for any pajaya. For example, aramana pajaya, the object of that which experience. No matter the reality which experience arises through any doorway of any kind of of citta, it experiences an object. So the object is one condition. It is aramana pacaya. But we don't name it, but we begin to understand that it has to be conditions for its arising, not just one pacaya. Because for citta, it has to be sahachata pacaya together with cetasika. And as soon as it's gone, each citta except the death citta, marana citta of the arahata, there cannot be the next reality which experience object again. That's why the pacaya for each moment is there to be what kind of pacaya. So we can learn about the name, the way it is conditions for such and such conditioned moment when it time to understand pacaya, what kind of pacaya. But from the very beginning, whatever arises must have pacaya for its arising. the eye. Without the eye, thing cannot arise. So it's paccaya. And what paccaya do we have to learn from the very beginning? Or understanding the paccaya little by little, understanding the way it is and what is the name for that particular paccaya. Anantara paccaya, samanantara paccaya, aramana paccaya, hetu paccaya. Now, how many paccaya? Kamma paccaya, vipaka paccaya, and so on. What we are talking about, for example, vipaka paccaya. What is it? See, it has to be the reality which experiences the object. So rupa is not vipaka paccaya. It's not the result of kamma to experience the object. But citta and cetasika, which are result, the vipaka, arise together as conditioned by the same kamma. So each perform the function of vipaka paccaya. Citta condition cetasika by way of vipaka paccaya, the result of the same kamma, and so on, little by little. But at moment of seeing right now, do we have to think about the paccaya? If there is a moment of thinking about paccaya or the word about paccaya, it's not moment of attending to the characteristic of seeing. But the understanding of paccaya condition the letting go of the clinging and ignorance about what is there. So very, very subtlety, very subtle how it works. When it cannot arise again, but it conditions the next moment, the future moments. If it is not there, as there's no paccaya to condition the future moment. So people talk about kamma, but kamma is one paccaya. The vipaka, the seeing, hearing now, cannot arise without kamma as its condition to experience the pleasant object or the unpleasant object. It's the result of kusala kamma or akusala kamma, see? So when we understand kamma, it's apaccaya. When we understand the vipaka, it is apaccaya. But paccaya of what? It has to be known. Vipaka paccaya is citta, arises with cetasika. Both are vipaka. So each one condition each other at moment of rising to be vipaka of one kamma, and so on. If there's no understanding of what vipaka is, what kusala citta is, how can there be the understanding of the paccaya? But when there is the understanding of kusala citta, kusala kamma, and then the vipaka is there to be known, how the citta and cetasika arises to be vipaka together by way of vipaka paccaya and hetu paccaya. See, learn a little more of paccaya, not from the very beginning, but to understand the truth that whatever is there is conditioned by different paccaya, to let go the idea of self because it's not there anymore. Even right now, who knows how many moments of citta by paccaya. That's why learn to understand the truth which condition what is there right now, little by little, is the letting go, the subtle moment of understanding, let go of ignorance and attachment, not by word, but by its own way. Now it's working. Each reality experiences performing its function, not the other's function. Vedana feels, Sanya marks and remember, Phassa just contact and so on. All are Dhammas. Once in samsara, as soon as it has arisen, it falls away instantly, never to arise again. Is it true?
Sorry, go on.
Is it true?
Yes, but my next question was, you mentioned sanya, and its function is to mark and remember. So is that, can we call that a condition?
Condition, and what is conditioned? There must be the condition and that which is conditioned.
Yes, yes.
So is sanya a condition? And what is that which is conditioned by sanya? We know, citta, right?
Right, yes.
Arising together with cetasika, sanya arises together with citta by way of sahasrata pajaya. When sanya is vipaka, citta is vipaka, all cetasikas arising together must be the same by way of vipaka pajaya. Not one is hetu and the other one is, not one is condition and the other one is again condition, or that which is conditioned, paccayupanna. Citta is paccaya and cetasikas are paccayupanna, and cetasika is paccaya and citta is paccayupanna. See?
They're conditioning each other.
Right. See? Nobody can do, no one, because actually there are only Dhamma, different Dhammas, condition the other Dhammas.
It really points to anatta, that there's absolutely nobody who can control any of this arising and falling.
That's why Buddha taught for 45 years about what we have heard now, and on, more and more. Little by little, develop to understand the truth.
Thank you, Achan. I very much appreciate your passing on to us the Buddha's words. I think they're the best words in the world, in this world and other worlds.
My appreciation.
And we're very fortunate to be able to appreciate what is so valuable in life, as you and Eve and everyone has been pointing out, because it's not easy to appreciate how precious it is to hear and study and consider the truth.
Yes, totally agree.
And right understanding, condition, more and more considering and listening and understanding all are Dhammas.
Without understanding, without panya, life is utterly useless. Moment by moment, lifetime after lifetime, truly.
More ignorance, darkness, unwholesome moments, deep down, down and down and down, so deep, from moment to moment, from life to life. That's why we have Dhamma, Buddha, Dhamma, Sangha as refuge. To consider the truth, to realize the truth.
And in answer to a question Zhao asked the other day, it doesn't matter whether it's from listening or reading or just considering. It is those moments of understanding, wisely reflecting, that are precious. Anytime, anywhere. I think it's time for us to finish. So thank you very much, Ajahn Sawadika, and to
Thank you very
everyone.
much to Ajahn Sawadika. Thank you, Dee.
สวัสดีครับท่านอาจารย์
Thank you. Thank you very much, everyone.
Thank you.
สวัสดี
See you all next time.
สวัสดี
Hi,
ค่ะ
Shanti.
Hi,
Good to
Carmen,
see you.
Shanti, nice to see
Yes.
you.